Hey guys, welcome back. This one is going to be kind of short, and that's because I'm just going to kind of walk you through what I did to set up my reference board. And, I kind of, I think that, the reference gathering portion of the project that it's slightly up to interpretation. I wanted to show you guys what I did for my last environment. I mean, you'll kind of notice that since we're doing like one tree, it's going to be a little different. So this is a style guide that I created for my last environment that I did, but just identifying certain elements in your scene and uh, you know like here I chose rivers. I wanted river to be uh, a prominent feature of my environment. So breaking all that stuff up into categories and then choosing this a color key. But as you can see here, you know this is more of just kind of gathering as much information as you can on this asset. So I have full confidence that you guys can do that on your own, and I just wanted to show you what I have here. So typically I'll just gather as many good reference photos as I can and start compiling them together in Photoshop. Some of my work colleagues use a different program called what is that one called? Reference PureRef. Yeah. I've actually never used it, but I've seen some other people use it, and it's pretty cool. But this is kind of dumbing down this asset as much as we can here. So you can see each one of these photographs here serves a purpose, and typically what I do when I add in these photos is I like to label them in my layer panel. For example, this one here, it kind of shows this, the flower type. I don't know if I'm gonna do that because, as I was researching this, this was actually, I believe this is a subspecies of the ponytail palm tree. So I think there's like 10 different subspecies, which is kind of cool. And anyways, but I thought, well, if we are going to do that, let's just at least have, this was a nice picture of how they look. So again, so each photo here has a purpose, and you'll see down here that I have compiled some information that I found would be really useful. Uh, they also call this tree the elephant's foot, and that's because you know they typically have these tall, skinny trunks, but then these really wide bases. And the reason for that is, I guess this tree stores water all in that really wide base, and so that's kind of cool. And that's why they call it the elephant's foot, because there's a looks like an elephant's foot. Imagine that. So anyways, I kind of started just listing out, okay, what its habitat. It grows in rocky soils, along cliffs, steep mountains. Um, these are native to Mexico. I found out it's an evergreen, which means that it always has green leaves, no matter what season it is. Um, so just stuff that I find useful. I like to compile it all here into one sheet, one board. And so also you can see that I am a expert artist, with my little paintbrush here. But I thought it would be useful to draw a quick little sketch of what I'm wanting to incorporate into this asset. And one of them was to get those. Another thing that I found out while researching this was you can see it's very reminiscent of water streaks, and as we know now, that's because it stores a ton of water in this trunk base here. So I really want to make sure we got to incorporate some of that into our asset, because that's obviously we're going for realism here, and that's kind of a key defining trait of this plant, of this tree. And then I also noticed that a lot of these bundles of leaves up here have this nice kind of dark green to yellow gradient. So towards the end of these leaves, it kind of becomes yellow, and I thought that that's really cool too. So when we're making our canopy, um, I wanted to make sure let's get that nice gradient in there. And this is I like to think of this as a living, breathing document. This isn't going to be just some static thing that we never go back to, and so that's feel free to keep coming back to it, and adding stuff like, hey, I think this is a really neat feature here. Um, but most importantly, like I have two monitors. I always have this on my main screen, and then all of the individual JPEGs that I collected of these photo or of this reference photos. So you know, my my other screen might look a little bit something like this. Where are we at here? Yeah, so one photo I really liked, and that was because of how it's so prominent here that I can see this gradient. And so I might say, yeah, that's a money shot for my leaves. So and then maybe oh, this is a really good one to show off that trunk detail. So I'm definitely gonna have this probably somewhere over here. And as I'm doing this, I'm starting to think, oh yeah, maybe there was something to that pure ref program, but we make do. Uh, I think it's a paid program, so if you guys have it, you should definitely use it because I'm pretty sure it does exactly this. You can arrange your stuff all over here, but this is probably like a quick example of what my second monitor would look like as I'm sculpting or building out our trunk and stuff. So I'm not going to ramble on. I probably already did a little bit, but I just wanted to get all my thoughts out there. Um, hopefully this is helpful for you guys. It's pretty straightforward at this point. In the next video, we're going to get to kind of kicking this thing off and starting to get past the planning phase and into the production phase. Um, and that's going to be uh, going into 3ds Max and getting this trunk look. Yeah, so I will see you guys in the next video.